Well, actually, my life is all about horses. I work full time on it. I live I live at the stables, and I spend almost 7:30 in the morning till 8:30 in the night out here. Of course, coming back to India is always great, and family, and so yeah, India is a little bit more recreational now. When I come back, that's my usually holiday once or twice a year. When I return to India, then I get a good holiday and get to catch up with all my friends and spend some time with them. And otherwise, when I'm in Europe, yeah, my life is all about horses, morning to evening. No, I mean, I started as a 6-year-old. I was sent to a horse riding camp near Bombay for the first time, and that's where I got hooked onto it. And then that's when I got bitten by the bug, and I've never looked back. I've did a lot of those camps as a child, as a 6-year-old, and eventually, with the Amateur Riders Club being in Bombay, it was easy to, uh, ride in the city, to go before school. And I used to, I live in Juhu, and I used to go to the race course early every day in the mornings, before at 5 o'clock in the morning, um, before my school hours, and then come back to Juhu to school. Uh, so yeah, it's been a childhood thing. I've always been very competitive, and from a young age I started my first competition in 2008, 2009. um, and It's been a great journey. It's kind of shaped who I am, and it's been instant love from the first second. I love spending, there's something magical about being around a horse and being on one. But yeah, the whole partnership, and I couldn't imagine any other way that I would have spent the last 20 odd years, 22 years or 21. Yeah. As a child, even before I started really riding, I've always had showed affinity towards horses. When I was a young, like 1-year-old and 2-year-old, I used to have ponies, that we used to have on the streets of Mumbai. I used to have a pony that used to be around the corner of my house, and I used to ride, go for little walks with that. And of course, uh, I always had a young passion for horses in general. I think my father saw that. Well, luckily, for most of my journey, my father's been very supportive of, he's taken me, I mean, he helped me, of course, financially supported me through and through for the whole part of it, moving from Bombay to Bangalore and buying all my first horses that I had and competed with. I mean, I'm lucky to have somebody who supported me with blind faith, let's say, that he'll do something. And then of course, now over the years, I've made it my profession. I've excelled, and I've made it a profession. I also, you know earn from this is not, what I of course I finished my business in management, but this is also by teaching people, and scouting horses and making matches for the right riders and horses, um and training horses, and what I do as a rider to train and get horses, improve horses. So those are a few different avenues how I make earning now, and that kind of fuels back into, at this point I'm young enough to put that back into the sport and do what I really want and push myself to achieve more. But of course, it's an incredibly expensive sport, and it's tough, especially at the level where I am now. Of course, to do it preliminary, to do through India and do the basic levels, and is one thing. And now at the level where I am now, yeah, it's tough because we need really serious finances, and it's one of the most costliest sports you could think of. So yeah, we're always looking for sponsors, and unfortunately it's a bit difficult in India because it's not a very well recognized sport. And of course, with the medals that we won, we would hope that we can aim and get more sponsorship towards us, and support the sport like some of the other sports that are now growing in the country. But yeah, and of course, winning the Asian Games, of course, gave us some rewards from the state and the center, uh, where they reward us for winning the gold medal as part of the state policies, and of course, those funds helped also. Uh, so yeah, it's a journey. We try and find our ways, and we're really pushing always to do more. Um, there is no cap on the amount you could spend in this sport. I mean, but we do the best we can with our means. I mean, my life hasn't changed. I mean, in terms of course, people knowing, and of course, that was a great part, and we enjoyed, getting the medal, and being. We had a lot of proud moments, and you know, visiting. We met the prime minister of the country, and of course, being recognized all over by the country, the equestrian fraternity. That, of course, is a great thing. Um, but my day-to-day life is, what I do today is exactly what I was doing before the Asian Games. I work the same hours. I do the same amount of horses. I pursue the same goals and dreams to get better every day. So in terms of my day-to-day life, it's the same. Of course, our sport, the look around our sport and our athletes has changed. Um, they see India as a country that can do well and is upcoming, and that's a good thing. And I would just say that, yeah, that's basically uh, a good part of it. Okay, so I'm currently training in France right now, near close to Paris, uh, and I am in just generally I work as a rider, and I'm training towards. We have a couple of championships coming up this year, this year and next year, which will set the way. So we have the Asian Continental Championship end of this year in Pattaya. We have the World Championships in Aachen, Germany next year in August, and that would be one of a milestone events to to try and qualify to. It's a step up. It's a step up from the Asian Games level and is at the highest level of the sport. So that would be something that I'm training towards. And lastly, we have the Asian Games again in Japan next year. Uh, so yeah, those are the three events I think for the next 2 years on the short-term goals. I have a new horse that I've had for about 6 or 8 months now, and we've only just been starting to getting to know each other and building the partnership. We have just done 1 or 2 shows internationally yet at the Grand Prix level, which is the highest level of the sport. So our aim is to use this whole year to just develop into this Grand Prix level, which is the highest level, and get experience at this level. Um, and see how that takes us. It's a new level for me. The horse has been performing at that level earlier on, but it's a new level for me. So I'm trying to make the best out of it at this point to get each day, train a little bit more and understand a little bit better too. Choosing a horse is always a very everyone has their own processes. Of course, you have to see what you're looking for. It's like a criteria when you're looking for a house. Everybody likes a different kind of house, and for different budgets. What I might like, I might not be able to get all the time. I might not be able to afford all the time. So it really depends on what your budget is, what your goals are with the horse. Um what you want to do in the short term. Is it a long term project that you want to develop and compete after a few years, or do you have short term goals that you want to meet, and you want a horse that is already a bit more trained and can help you achieve those goals? So it's a combination of all, and then of course we try the horse maybe once or twice or thrice, and see how that goes. And then of course, based on that feeling, when you try the horse, you think, okay, this is a good match or it's not. And then of course we get the health part of it checked up by a vet, who tells us how fit and sound the horse is in the body. And yeah, and then that's where then we decide, okay, this might be a good fit.